And now, Yamaha presents WWE Hell in a Cell Kickoff Show.
And the countdown is officially on. WWE Premier Week comes to an end tonight, but the excitement remains at a fever pitch. Doors just opened moments ago. Fans are filing into this gorgeous downtown Golden One Center here in Sacramento, California. Tonight is no ordinary night because hanging high above the ring is one of the most dangerous structures the WWE has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hell in a Cell Kickoff Show. Lives will be changed, careers will be changed after leaving that unforgiving vault here tonight. Good evening, everybody. I am the coach. Over the course of the next 60 minutes, we're going to get you set for a night that's going to set the tone for the rest of 2019. Let's get to know our panel. To my immediate left, the lovely and the talented Miss Charlie Caruso. How are you?
Coach, I'm doing great. I know we're all excited for Hell in a Cell. Not only do we get one Hell in a Cell match tonight, we get two, and I'll tell you, I am excited, but also a little worried to see what goes down inside that sadistic structure tonight.
We will get into that quite a bit over the course of the next 60 minutes. To my right, he's not only a WWE Hall of Famer, but he is one of the new hosts, the analyst, the brains behind the brand new show on FS1 WWE Backstage, Mr. Booker T.
It feels good. It feels real good to be here tonight at Hell in a Cell, a structure that I never got a chance to perform in by design.
So you're happy about that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And finally, to our far left, he is the last professional broadcaster from SiriusXM. Let's welcome Mr. Sam Roberts.
What a way to close what has been the biggest week in WWE history, Premier Week, with 5 sides of the most destructive force.
Five sides.
There's a roof on there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's
You gotta
right.
He's better
My
at that than
bad.
the rest of us.
My bad.
I know geometry.
Just ask Mick Foley. There is definitely a roof on the side. When we have superstars that are backstage right now, Booker T, that are getting ready, that know that coming up over the course of the next few hours, they have to step inside of that thing and not just perform, but also try not to get hurt. What's going through their mind right now?
Oh, man, one thing they're thinking about is history. To go out here and have a match like that, that's a history-making moment. You're going to look back, and the kids, grandkids, everybody going to remember when, as well as, man, always expect the unexpected when it comes to the cage. But as far as the inside, what's going on the inside, butterflies, man, they're all over the place. And I always say, you just got to make those butterflies line up and fly straight on a night like this.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, and I don't want to mention any names because I don't want to ruin any strategies, but there are a couple superstars that I did run across backstage who actually said they are worried about Hell in a Cell tonight and their matches inside
And
of that cage.
They should be.
Who was it?
They should be.
I don't want to talk, I don't want to throw anyone's name out there right now. It's a little too early to talk about that, but we do know one thing. There is only one place to watch Hell in a Cell. That's on the WWE Network. So everybody right now, you have one job. Go to WWENetwork.com and sign up because Hell in a Cell is free for new subscribers, and it does not stop there because later on this month, on Halloween, Crown Jewel, free for new subscribers.
Free
But Coach,
$99.
Free 99, baby. Coach, let's run down the card.
Oh, we've got a lot to get to tonight. How about this? Seth Rollins to beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Braun Strowman at Clash of Champions. But tonight, the Fiend Bray Wyatt will be waiting inside of Hell in a Cell. And Seth Rollins, his incredible 2019 will continue, but it's not going to be easy.
And tonight, the big dog Roman Reigns teaming up with Daniel Bryan to bring the fight to Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Reigns and Bryan on the exact same page, and that does not bode well for their destructive opponents.
And the SmackDown Women's Championship is on the line as Bayley takes on Charlotte. She's kind of taken a page out of Charlotte Flair's playbook. Do whatever is necessary to stay the champion. Charlotte, she would love to have a 10th title reign begin here tonight.
And the Women's Tag Team Championship up for grabs this evening as Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defend against a team who have been waiting patiently to show the WWE Universe exactly why they are worthy of the gold. It's the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa and Nikki tonight.
And finally, the Raw Women's Championship is on the line. Becky Lynch, the man, taking on Sasha Banks. Now, since WrestleMania, Becky Lynch has been the standout, the standard. Then in August, Sasha Banks, who had been out of sight, out of mind, showed up out of nowhere. We all were asking the same question, the one question, and the boss was more than happy to answer.
So everybody wants to know why.
We haven't seen the boss since WrestleMania.
I had a plan.
Oh my God!
And look who came to save the day, right on cue.
Becky Lynch now going after Banks.
And you saw what happened to her, didn't you?
Banks has returned with a vengeance.
And now here I am, center of attention.
Where's your balls now, huh, Becky?
Like I deserve.
Emotion has been bottled up for weeks. Tonight, it is set to explode. Becky Lynch looks to defend the Raw Women's Championship against the boss, Sasha Banks.
Banks with a backstabber. Now it's Lynch with nowhere to go. Becky trying to make it to the ropes.
That forces the break. Oh, this is not right. Sasha has made a living using a steel chair the past couple of weeks.
Oh my God!
Well, that was an accident. What they say about payback? Banks getting some of her own medicine here.
As a result of striking an official, Becky Lynch has been disqualified.
Using the chair to advantage. Gonna break Banks' arm. It is over. Sasha screaming.
This is out of control.
Sasha Banks certainly learned a lesson here tonight. She's in the man's territory now.
Listen here, Becky. I don't give a damn how many chairs you throw my way. I am the star of this women's division. I am the one that is cashing in the winner's check. And I am the one that is challenging you to a rematch at Hell in a Cell.
One of the most cruel, unforgiving structures ever devised.
I've been in a cell match before. Has Becky Lynch?
Well, just like you brought that chair into the mix, I'm gonna use it to break you down. I'm interested in destroying you in Hell in a Cell.
The only way to that exit is through me, and I cannot wait to have that trapped rat all to myself.
The only thing that I'm concerned about is getting back what's mine. You see, Becky may call herself the man, but she will never be the legit boss. Because after Hell in a Cell, I'm gonna be the only woman standing.
The man is gonna be the boss's bitch.
You made it personal. I'm gonna make it painful. The man, the boss, the cell, retribution is coming around.
And this Raw Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks inside Hell in a Cell will be kicking off tonight's pay-per-view event. So that's something we're all looking very much forward to. Now, gentlemen, okay, Hell in a Cell, obviously there's a lot that goes into this. Neither of these women lack confidence. Becky is the champion, but Sasha is the one with experience inside Hell in a Cell. So what type of advantage does that give her?
Well, you say neither of the women are lacking confidence, but the way I see it, I've been watching every interaction that they've had. Sasha Banks has taken Becky Lynch from somebody that had bravado and chutzpah to a coward. The last time they interacted, Becky Lynch took a disqualification and walked out holding the title in the air as if she had won something. Nobody has put Becky Lynch into that position before. Becky Lynch is now also all of a sudden friends with the person that she was bitter enemies with. She's trying everything she can to get inside Sasha Banks' head, but she can't get Sasha Banks outside of hers. She's a coward.
Yeah, I see it totally different. Becky, she's champion. When you're a champion, you pick your spots. You make the time and the place. And I think that's what Becky has done. Becky has put herself in position to be in this position from a lot of hard work, and it started many, many years ago. She's somebody that's have proven her point. She staked her claim, and that is being the best in the business. As far as being the woman, she's not worried about being the woman because she's the man, and that says a whole lot.
So let me ask you this then. We have not questioned any move that Becky Lynch has made the last 6 to 8 months, because every move that she has made has been the right one. However, do we feel like maybe Sasha Banks has sucked her in to a situation inside that tonight that Becky Lynch even doesn't know what to expect.
And I fail to, agree with anything like that as well. As far as Sasha's been in there, she's done it before. When you're trying to make history, you're willing to walk through the fire to get to that point, and I think that's what Becky is.
Sasha's getting this opportunity because she came out here, and Becky Lynch felt threatened by her the minute she came back to WWE. Sasha went in that ring, and Becky's the one that answered, not Sasha. Becky Lynch is threatened by the fact.
Well, Sasha demanded it, though.
And Becky answered. Becky Lynch is threatened by the fact that Sasha Banks is the most buzzed about woman in WWE right now, not her.
All right.
Well, we saw who Becky Lynch shared the spotlight with on Friday Night SmackDown. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
None other than The Rock.
You know what? When you're in good company like that, that just makes you feel a certain way, especially coming into a night like tonight.
And not many people can say that they've done that here, so that is something pretty remarkable. Well, we also have some other women in action tonight. The Women's Tag Team Championships are on the line this evening. It's going to be the current champions, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, taking on the Kabuki Warriors. All right, so now we have two guests who are going to be joining our panel to help us break down a little bit of the action, and it is none other than the current Women's Tag Team Champions. So ladies, Nikki, Alexa, how you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
All right, so we see that tonight you're facing the Kabuki Warriors. This was something that was just announced recently. What was your reaction when you realized you'd be facing them tonight at Hell in a Cell?
To be honest, Charlie, I was a little surprised because I don't really know what they've done to earn a title opportunity. Kyrie just walks around dressed like a pirate all year round, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, they did defeat Mandy and Sonya a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, and we wrestled them last month.
One team. That's one team. I mean, we're fighting champions. I just would prefer to see them earn a title opportunity.
Alexa, I hate to cut you off, but I beg to differ with you right there. I mean, Asuka, she's a former SmackDown Women's Champion. She's done a whole lot, in this business, and as well as Kyrie saying, a former NXT champion. That right there is a formidable tag team that could come out here tonight and get the big upset.
Yeah, I'm going to cut you off there, Booker, because you're talking about individual accomplishments. And if
you want to talk about individual accomplishments, Alexa Bliss is a five-time women's champion.
That's gimmick infringement, guys.
Yeah, we've heard that one before.
This is not a singles match. It's a tag team match. So what have they accomplished together as the Kabuki Warriors? I'll wait.
I think that was for you, Booker.
Because here's the thing, guys. Me and Alexa have proved everyone wrong. Every week, we've defeated every tag team in this division. We've proved everyone wrong, and tonight will be no different. And we are undefeated against the Kabuki Warriors.
And because we're champions, and we're friends, and we're winners, and our streak's going to go on tonight against the Kabuki Warriors. Plain and simple.
All right, so clearly they're confident heading into tonight, and I apologize.
Maybe a little too overconfident.
Yeah, are they confident though, Booker? Because the first thing they said was, well, we don't know why we should have to defend our titles against this team. Does a confident team start by saying, well, I don't want to defend my titles against that team?
Yeah, and the thing is, talking about, accolades, championships, it ain't about that. It's about tonight. This is a huge night, and I don't think they're focused. I don't think they're ready for the competition.
But it was pretty sudden that they found out they'd be facing the Kabuki Warriors, so maybe that threw them off a bit. Could we say that? Is that fair?
Well, you got to be ready to defend your title at all time. I think there's not that many teams that are more deserving of the Kabuki Warriors.
I said it, at the outset. You got to always expect the unexpected, especially when you're champion, because what they say, card subject to change all the time.
Yeah. All right, we're going to leave it right there, but we're not going to stop the conversation when we talk about the women's side of the card here tonight, because the SmackDown Women's Championship will be on the line when Bayley, the champion, takes on the Queen, Charlotte Flair, looking for her 10th title reign. Now, Bayley has really done anything the last couple of months to keep the title around her waist. Kind of a Charlotte Flair thing to do. With more, let's send it backstage to Kayla Braxton. Kayla.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 9-time WWE Women's Champion, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte, tonight at Hell in a Cell, you once again face Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship, but after not walking out as Women's Champion at Clash of Champions...
Really, Kayla? You're asking me about Clash of Champions? That's old news. What you should be asking me about is the premiere Friday Night SmackDown where I made Bayley bow down.
So are you saying you think you'll be able to repeat that win tonight?
What I'm saying is Bayley's tough girl act is exactly what it is, just an act. I know exactly who I am. I am the queen, and I'm about to become the 10-time women's champion. Woo!
So let's ask that question right now. Do we think that Bayley's act is just that, an act? Booker?
You know, I don't want to call Bayley a follower or anything like that, but ever since Sasha Banks stepped back into the picture, she's different. Am I right or wrong?
But you're saying you don't want to call her a follower, but you called her a follower.
Well, because if it looked like a duck, you know, if it quacks like a duck, most of the time.
Well, you know what they say? They say you become the result of the 5 people you surround yourself closest with. So
No.
Does that make a little sense?
But on the other hand, this is something that she may need going into a match like this with Charlotte Flair. You got to have some dirt on you when you go in there and compete against Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte always have a game plan. She is one of the most technical females I've ever seen in the arena, as well as she's a throw caution to the wind at the same time. So I think you got to have a certain mindset going into a match like this.
I would think that that's probably true, but if you look at what Bayley's done in the last several months, if you watch the show, I don't think that there's been a more successful attitude change on any superstar in years than on Bayley. Bayley took her identity as being somebody who was, oh yeah, I remember when Bayley was good, to Bayley is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Last month, she took on the woman that everybody says is the best female wrestler in the world, and she walked out champion. I'm talking about Charlotte, who now has to go in there and say, oh, we don't talk about old stuff. Well, let's bring up the old stuff, because you're facing the same opponent.
You're agreeing with me. Am I correct?
I'm not agreeing with you about Bayley being a follower.
Well, I'm talking about as far as she needs some dirt on her. She needs a certain attitude to go out there and then have a match like this in this magnitude.
I like the transformation.
I think the attitude change is good.
Well, it's
but
been
I think
successful.
It's a real attitude change.
It's been successful, and I think Bayley
you
realized
agree with me.
She realized that at some point what she was doing was a road that was going to end, and this is a road that has so many different possibilities, and success right now is the biggest thing that she is enjoying. But tonight, a lot going on against Charlotte Flair. All right, let's sit it down the ringside and Vic Joseph. Vic.
Well, thank you so much, Coach. We are getting ready for WWE's Hell in a Cell. Vic Joseph alongside Dio Madden and, of course, WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. Are you guys ready for Hell in a Cell tonight?
I don't know if anybody can ever be ready for Hell in a Cell. How many, Dio, is this going to be your first time being this close to Hell in a Cell?
This is my first time, and I am so excited, King. I cannot wait.
Well, we are getting ready to kick things off with the lady of the WWE.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans.
Mike Rome corrected me, the sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans.
The sassiest.
And Lacey Evans ready for singles competition tonight here in Sacramento.
Oh,
as we
looks
kick
sassy.
As we kick off WWE Hell in a Cell, and WWE Hell in a Cell kickoff show is brought to you by Yamaha, WWE's motorcycle and off-road vehicle adventure partner.
Southern Belle. Gotta love them.
Easy, King.
And the WWE Universe still filing in, a capacity crowd expected here tonight inside the Golden One Center in Sacramento.
And her opponent from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Natalya!
And Natalya, perhaps, guys, the most respected woman in the WWE locker room.
Absolutely. Natalya is an absolute legend in the locker room, and she's got to do something tonight against Lacey Evans. I've talked to Lacey, and what Lacey said is that, honestly, if she beats her here tonight, she's done with her.
And we're just over 40 minutes until the start of Hell in a Cell. And Natalya looking ever so confident. And, you know, King, these two women have crossed paths several times over the last several weeks.
Yes, they have. And like Dio said, I'm afraid that if Natalya doesn't step up and do something big here tonight, that Lacey Evans is just going to basically walk right over and walk past Natalya.
Hey, listen to the WWE Universe for Natalya.
Guys, do you imagine the ego of Lacey Evans if she beats Natalya here tonight? I can't imagine. She'll be unstoppable.
You take a look at Lacey Evans. I mean, King, you have quite the history with the Hart family.
Yeah, and not all of it good.
Well, so do you agree with how Lacey Evans has been, well, handling her business against Natalya?
Well, you know, if you talk about my history with the Hart family, I let my mouth overload my rear end sometimes when it came to Bret the Hitman Hart and his parents, Stu and Helen Hart. I said a lot of very uncomplimentary things. So far, Lacey has, well, she's let her actions speak louder than her words.
Some of those actions, Dio, has been Lacey using Natalya's sharpshooter.
Yeah, Lacey told me that when she wins tonight.
Into the cover, hook of the leg. Natalya kicks out at 1.
When she wins tonight, she's going to open up her own Hart family dungeon in South Carolina.
Oh, wow. Well, that's not a bad idea. Look out.
Well, Natalya now trying to negotiate her way free, and a nice counter.
Look at the look on that Southern Belle's face.
Oh, look at the look on Natalya's face.
Yeah. Very full of herself right now. I don't think you want to make this Southern Belle upset or angry.
Nice takedown. Natalya transitioning nice into a front face lock. And then Natalya wants to get back to basics against Lacey Evans. She feels embarrassed by Lacey Evans.
What is going on here?
Lacey going right back at Natalya.
Well, this Lacey, her mean streak goes back a long way, you know. We all know that she was in the Marines, right?
Yep, she was a co-op.
Yeah, and not very well liked there, even among her fellow soldiers. I heard that when she got deployed to Afghanistan, she got shot at by both sides.
Oh, come on, King. Lacey Evans, wait a minute, shoulders are down. Lacey Evans able to roll through at 1. Evans has said a confident lady doesn't concern herself with nonsense. And she believes that Natalya is nothing but nonsense in the women's division. As now Evans just runs over again Natalya. Man, guys, Lacey Evans has been in control.
Guys, I know you hate to admit it, but you gotta say, I mean, Lacey is looking sharp right now.
Absolutely, and she always has a bag for her gear, but more importantly, a giant bag for hand sanitizer.
Another takedown into another cover and another kick out by Natalya, but to King's point, Lacey Evans has been able to stay one step ahead of Natalya in this matchup. Whoa, armbar, looking for a submission as Natalya center of the ring. Lacey Evans doing her best to roll free and get away from that pressure and use that long base to reach to the bottom rope.
Oh, nice little parting shot there by Natalya.
Well, this rivalry has gotten so personal between these two. As now Lacey Evans from behind, shoulders are down, and another kick out by Natalya. Natalya now could be looking for the sharpshooter. Gets you locked in the sharpshooter.
This could be it.
Evans fighting to get free. Lacey looking and reaching the bottom rope. Natalya so close to locking in. The sharpshooter to Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans taking a little much needed. She may have been.
Lacey Evans, can Natalya bounce back in this matchup here at Hell in a Cell?
I am the star of this women's division, and I am the one that is challenging you for the women's championship. Hell in a Cell.
I'm not interested in facing you. I'm interested in destroying you in Hell in a Cell.
WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Streaming live on WWE Network. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. As always, WWE Network is free for new subscribers.
Friends forgive.
We're really glad that
But he never forgets.
Seth Rollins.
I'm going to survive and prevail.
The Fiend Bray Wyatt battle for the Universal title. Inside Hell in a Cell.
WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Streaming live on WWE Network. Tonight, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. As always, WWE Network is free for new subscribers.
I cannot wait for those two championship matches, which will be contested inside Hell in a Cell here tonight. But right now, Lacey Evans has been in control of Natalya.
Look out.
Oh, man. What athleticism by Evans, dragging Natalya now into the cover. Hooks to leg. Is it enough? And another near fall in this matchup. And
I mean, this has turned into just a brutal beatdown by Lacey Evans. Poor Natalya. She needs to do something in a hurry.
Lacey Evans working on the left knee. Oh! Could be setting up for the sharpshooter, and boy, would that be rubbing insult in the face of Natalya during this matchup. But guys, both these women certainly will be watching both title matches closely tonight here at Hell in a Cell. Both the Raw Women's Championship and the SmackDown Live Women's Championship.
Yeah, you have to figure the woman who wins this match will have momentum to go after whatever title she pleases. So this is big.
Oh, man.
Not to mention that future unknown for both superstars with the upcoming WWE Draft is Lacey Evans into the pinfall again, and another kick out by Natalya. Of course, WWE Draft coming up Friday night SmackDown this Friday, October the 11th. Well, right now, King, Lacey Evans, how impressed have you been with the offensive onslaught by Evans?
Well, you know, absolutely very impressed tonight, but she's been impressing me for a long time. I mean, Lacey Evans, you know, I got to admit, I had this little bit of a shine to her from the get-go just because she was from the South, the Southern Belle. But man, she is doing everything that she can to impress everybody in the WWE Universe.
We talk about someone who likes to call everyone in the WWE Universe nasties. This is certainly a nasty, vicious side of Lacey Evans, who right now is systematically dissecting Natalya.
Most Southern Belles that I used to know would only fight this hard over a mirror.
And
then these two.
Another cover by Lacey Evans and another kick out by Natalya. Give credit right now, Dio, to Natalya, who's continuing to fight.
She's resilient, and nobody would have expected that Lacey Evans would come in with the game plan like she's come in right now. You would think that you would reserve that to the veteran, honestly.
King, you heard Lacey Evans yell, give up. There is no quit in Natalya. Natalya will not quit. She will not stay down as she's back to a vertical base, trying to create separation and just getting ripped down by her hair.
Well, it's that Hart family heritage, and she's under a tremendous amount of pressure every time she steps in the ring because those are some big shoes to fill.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
you know, she is.
Oh no, Lacey Evans.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
Trying to lock in the sharpshooter. Natalya!
Oh, see?
Natalya having none of it.
Just slapped the taste out of her mouth.
And Natalya now rally in this matchup.
Well, one thing, Lacey Evans has worked on the legs of Natalya. Oh, man. Oh, turnabout's fair play. Whoa.
And you mentioned working on the leg, King. Right back to the left knee goes Lacey Evans.
It's going to make it more and more difficult for Natalya to perform that sharpshooter. And if it gets performed on her, it's going to make it more easy for her to submit.
Well, at first
Here goes again.
Succeed. Try again and again. Natalya able to counter.
Look out. Is that going to be the break that Natalya needs?
Natalya trying to block out the pain again, and such a personal rivalry that this has become on Raw over the last several weeks. Natalya now just can't get back into it. Look at Lacey Evans right on top of Natalya.
Come on, Lacey, get him out of the corner. Come on.
Here she comes again.
Evans measuring Natalya. Oh! Scouted and countered. Natalya now.
Oh, man, oh, man.
You talk about scouted. You talk about two people who know each other at this point.
Lacey Evans seems to have an answer for everything that Natalya tries.
Lacey Evans now just dragging Natalya back over into the corner.
Uh-oh.
We've seen this before.
She's got some evil intentions. You can see it in her eyes. Whoa! Oh! Nobody home!
No one there now. Natalya trying to follow up.
Oh!
Can Natalya lock in the sharpshooter? Natalya turning over Lacey Evans.
No!
Sharpshooter
There she goes.
in.
She's tapped.
Evans has to tap.
Who's your winner by submission? Natalya!
Well, Lacey Evans, an old Southern expression, went to the well once too often.
He certainly did, King, but for Natalya, it must feel like a little bit of weight lifted off her shoulders, getting a little bit of redemption against the sassy Southern Belle here tonight.
You can't see it on her face right now, but I'm certain that Natalya is feeling very, very good about this victory. Lacey Evans. Look out! Oh, man!
How's that for women's right?
Natalya. Well, she came in here a little bit back kick. Came in here looking for some retribution, and there you see it. Personified right there. Natalya showing out tonight.
You said, how good did Lacey Evans look? How great did Natalya look in this matchup? But Lacey Evans, this is what you talk about. Going to the well once too often. No one there for Lacey Evans.
Bad decisions make for great replays, as we just saw right there.
And then Natalya would lock in that sharpshooter. Nowhere for Lacey Evans to go. But it was also what happened afterwards. Take a look here.
This is the exclamation point on this match.
Boom!
Bang!
Man, what a right hand by Natalya, who walks out of Sacramento victorious here on the Hell in a Cell kickoff show.
Pretty cool that a woman is the man now.
No question who the man was in our day.
No doubt at all.
Zero.
Yeah. Crystal clear.
Step inside and be the man.
I would have loved to have been at that commercial shoot. Well, we crossed the bottom of the hour. Fans continue to file into the Golden One Center here in Sacramento. Now, we've known for a better part of a year that SmackDown on Fox was coming. But I don't think anyone could have imagined how big and impactful the debut on Fox would be. The stars were out just 48 hours ago, and there was only one place suitable for such a night: Staples Center, City of Angels.
Live at the sold-out Staples Center in Los Angeles, it is the premiere of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. Are you ready?
Welcome to history. Are you ready? Welcome to Fox.
Are you ready? And welcome to SmackDown. Getting set for this lumberjack match between Roman Reigns and Eric Rowan. Well, here comes Big Luke Harper. Well, this lumberjack match is devolving in a hurry. The big dog flies, taking everybody out, and a spear by Reigns. The unlikeliest of allies finding a way, and that's Tyson Fury, heavyweight champion in boxing, and Rowan having a little fun. And now Ziggler set right into Fury. Wait a minute, where's Fury going? Owens, Shane McMahon, ladder match. Loser terminated from WWE. And a frog splash through Shane, through the ladder. Kevin Owens has the briefcase. Hey, Shane. Are you ready for a guillotine? You're fired. If you smell what the Rock is cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, the People's Champ, The Rock.
We're all here, live on Fox. You got The Rock, the man, and you looking like a broke-ass Burger King on crack. Rock, the king says, know your roles and shut your mouth. Just because you won King of the Ring, it doesn't actually make you a king. Becky Lynch is the man. However, you don't see Becky Lynch walking around here holding a pair of testicles, do you?
But if I did, they'd be a whole lot bigger than yours.
That's what happens when you come out and you insult the jabroni beating, pie eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising from Los Angeles all the way to Japan. You're getting ready to get your monkey ass whooped by The Rock and the man.
Oh, look at Becky going right after Corbin. And Becky and The Rock working in tandem. The People's Elbow. Followed up by the Rock Bottom.
I love you, SmackDown. If you're some man, what the Rock is cooking.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our main event here tonight on Friday Night SmackDown for the WWE Championship.
We are about to find out in moments if Kofi's fairy tale comes crashing to a halt tonight, courtesy of the Conqueror.
And Brock Lesnar quickly with Kofi Kingston, and an F5, by Lesnar. Here's the cover. We got a new champion.
That's got to be a record of some sort.
Lesnar is now a 5-time WWE champion. Oh my God, Brock Lesnar has seen a ghost, and that ghost's name is Cain Velasquez here with Rey Mysterio.
Cain Velasquez is the man who won the UFC Heavyweight Championship from Brock Lesnar.
And look at Velasquez, double leg takedown, and Velasquez down with the rights and lefts to the base. Lesnar trying to retreat. Brock Lesnar is in shock. He cannot believe it.
Cain Velasquez staring a hole through the WWE Champion.
What a night.
That was just the shocking end to a night that started with the pre-show on the blue carpet and ended with Cain Velasquez surprising the world. But Booker T, you were there. It's rare that an event can surpass the hype, but I believe that it did.
No, it was hype, man. I mean, everybody in the building had a great time. Talking about a kickoff with SmackDown on Fox couldn't have been bigger than that. But with Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston main event, let's talk about that for a second. Talking about the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. One move is all over, new champ. And I tell you, Kofi Kingston, I said he was going to have to go back to the motherland. He was going to have to bring out the Mandingo Warrior in case, you know, it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
And how about the debut of Cain Velasquez on WWE TV?
Oh,
it is
man.
such an amazing time to be a WWE fan with everything we saw from Brock Lesnar winning the title to Shane McMahon being fired from WWE to The Rock saying testicles on network television. It's incredible.
All right, you have a show on Sirius XM.
I do.
And so you get the people calling in. How did the people react to everything that they saw on SmackDown?
Well, there was no doubt about it. The people loved how big the show was. It felt like certainly the biggest SmackDown, one of the biggest WWE shows of all time. But they melted down over the fact that Brock Lesnar spoiled the reign of Kofi Kingston the way he did.
And how many seconds was it? Did anyone keep count?
It was quick. It was quick. It was real quick. It was real fast. But I tell you, Kofi Kingston, he had a meteoric rise. I mean, 6 months as champion, it's a moment that he's going to remember for the rest of it. And the thing is, he can climb back to the mountaintop again. He's still a pretty young guy.
Well, how about, we saw Brock Lesnar, take the title, but it wasn't too long after that we suddenly saw fear in Brock Lesnar's eyes, which is something you really don't ever see.
That wasn't fear. That was just competition.
Oh, you don't think? I don't know about that.
Real quick, we can talk about that as the weeks go by. I want to talk about the fact that The Rock was there. He and the man got together. There is no substitute for star power. Right. And there was tons of star power from start to finish on Friday night.
Well, it does a lot to a superstar in the eyes of the fans when a guy like The Rock comes and points to a superstar and says, this is the person. I am sitting here and telling you that Becky Lynch can tell you she's the man. I'm telling you she's the man.
Amazing
a lot of people
It's an endorsement. An endorsement that you just don't want to miss out on. Trust
She'll remember that moment for the rest of her life.
I was there the very first SmackDown, August 24th, 1999, Kansas City. That's the first night I ever met Vince McMahon. And to see that 20 years later, to see where it is right now, was so cool.
Wild.
It was so cool.
Wild.
It really was. All right, we've got to move on. It's time to sit it backstage. And our correspondent, Sarah Schreiber, is standing by. Sarah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, one of WWE's most exhilarating and inspiring superstars, Ali. Ali, you had an incredible start to your career on SmackDown. Unfortunately, recently you suffered some disappointment. How are you going to recover from these setbacks?
Lately I feel like every time I try to take one step forward, I end up taking 2 steps back. And I'll be the first to admit it, it's beyond frustrating. And this year, I've had these missed opportunities that have knocked me down. But they won't keep me down. No, I will find my momentum. And next week, the WWE Draft, it's the perfect opportunity for me to find my...
Momentum, huh? Momentum. Ali, I remember a time when you had momentum. I remember because I'm the one that stomped it out.
Yeah, you did do that. So you know what? Forget about next week. How about you and me in the ring tonight, and we find out who's got the momentum?
You're on.
Ooh, you could feel it. You could feel the tension right there.
Well, you talk about a guy who needs some dirt on them. How about Ali gets a little bit aggressive and stops being nice to everybody?
He's about to get some dirt on him tonight.
Well, we talk about this is a night. This is a night that careers change, lives change. If Ali can knock off Randy Orton,
oh, he's not going to.
Sam, if he can knock off Randy Orton here tonight, boy, his life would change immediately as we move forward.
Immediately.
He's got no chance. It's not going to happen.
Bet the house on him, okay?
My
God. Speaking of a man who's had quite the last few months, Roman Reigns has had quite the last few months, and tonight he's going to team up with a man that we never thought we would see together with Roman Reigns, and that is Daniel Bryan, as they take on Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Michael Cole sat down with Eric Rowan as he attempted to explain the method to all the recent madness.
For far too long, I've been overlooked. I did what I did to Roman. Change his perceived dominance that he thinks he has. Show him it's merely an illusion.
No! It's Harper!
I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. You see, Dan's biggest mistake was thinking we were intellectual equals. I'm far superior mentally than he'll ever be.
Oh, and it's Luke Harper from behind! All part of the master plan of ruin! Hold on. Roman Reigns marching towards the ring! Roman Reigns has his own score to settle. Destruction continues. And the security's trying to draw some order here. These maniacs are out of control. We're not safe.
So Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, never disrespect me again.
Daniel Bryan is at the mercy of Eric Rowan. Here comes the big dog. The numbers catch up to Reigns. Daniel Bryan is helpless. Oh, wait a minute. Daniel with the knee. Spear. Just at the right time. Do you want to see me and Roman kick their disrespected asses? A common enemy can create unexpected alliances.
No matter how hard they try, how tough they talk. In Hell in a Cell, we bring in the big fight.
Excuse me, Eric, if I can have a word. Please, if you don't mind. You know, the rivalry between you and Roman Reigns has only intensified in recent weeks with the return of Luke Harper. You know, at the premiere of Friday Night SmackDown, you...
I what? So Roman Reigns beat me in a battle. So what? This ain't a battle. It's a war, and it's a war that I intend on winning, Kayla. You see Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, they think they're tough. Yeah. But tonight, it's a tornado tag match, which means there's no rules for these boys to hide behind. And after we win, Luke Harper and I will get the respect that we deserve. Tonight, the big dog and his pup, Dan, they get put down for good.
I think we all have been surprised at just how diabolical and detail-oriented Eric Rowan has been with all of these different attacks that he allegedly orchestrated. But now tonight, a chance to go after Roman Reigns and the pup, Dan. I'm scared of that Eric Rowan.
I think you have good reason to be. I mean, this is a different Eric Rowan than we've ever seen before, a better Eric Rowan, a more scary Eric Rowan than we've ever seen before. And historically, Daniel Bryan does better when he's against top guys and fan favorites than when he's with them, whether it's AJ Styles, whether it's Batista, whoever it is. The hottest runs of Daniel Bryan's career has been when he's bucking the system and he's fighting whoever the top guy is. Tonight he's teaming with Roman Reigns. I don't know if that's the environment for Daniel Bryan.
You know, I look at what Rowan just said. First and foremost, he said the respect that we deserve. That said, we don't want to play second fiddle. And as well as Daniel Bryan, I give him a whole lot of props as far as, you know, being a man and whatnot. But Daniel Bryan is the one who stirred the pot. Daniel Bryan is the one that wound Luke Harper up. Daniel Bryan is the real reason why this monster was created. So my thing is this. Luke Harper is a guy, he don't want to be a journeyman. He don't want to be a guy that people said, hey, he could have been this. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan as well. These guys want a piece of the action. Their champagne wishes and their caviar dreams.
Sam, your final thoughts on that?
I think that's right. You look at a guy like Eric Rowan, who's been waiting for this respect as long as he's been waiting for. And you're right, Luke Harper's been sitting at home wanting the caviar and wanting the champagne. And tonight, he's in one of the biggest matches on Hell in a Cell.
He gets his piece of the action.
I think he does.
All right, let's leave it right there. But I want to move off a word that we've been using the last couple of minutes, and that is respect. Many people respect Braun Strowman. Many people respect the lineal heavyweight boxing champion, Tyson Fury. Let's go back to SmackDown on Fox, the debut on Friday night. Part of an 8-man tag team, Braun Strowman having his way, but look who's sitting in the front row. That's Tyson Fury. A lot of people think he beat Deontay Wilder when they fought last year, but then Braun Strowman, you hear him say, he goes, you don't want any one of these hands? What did you make of this face-off, Booker?
Well, I can tell you this right here. This right here is that moment. This was my shucky ducky quack quack moment of the night. You know what lineal mean, right?
Tell me.
You do know what that means. That means he is the man who beat the man, which was Vladimir Klitschko. That's why he's standing there as tall as he is. That's why he can fight with a man like Tyson Fury. Now, my thing is this. Like I say, this is that moment, shucky ducky quack quack moment of the night, because that guy right there, that is.
Wow.
That is like that man been in the building and said a whole lot about Friday night and SmackDown on Fox.
Well, being in the building is one thing, but to jump the barricade is another. I mean, that's just something you do not do unless you're ready for what can come next.
He was invited. Braun Strowman invited him.
He's a prize fighter. He's always ready for a fight.
That's exactly right. And a lot of people have been talking that Cain Velasquez, Tyson Fury, a one-off, that they would show up because it was the debut. There was a lot of stars there, and we'd never see him again.
Let me tell you something.
That's not the case.
It's a whole lot of money involved here. When you see somebody like Tyson Fury show up, Long Green Ducats is behind it. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, the powers that be have called Tyson Fury, and they offered him a chance at a microphone and an appearance on Monday Night Raw. We found out today that Tyson Fury has accepted the invitation, and he will be there live on Raw, 8/7 Central on USA, with that microphone in Bakersfield tomorrow night. Well, we are just over 10 minutes away from this Hell in a Cell. There is only one Hell in a Cell. And we can tell you that Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks will kick off the show at the top of the hour on the WWE Network.
Woo, with that match kicking off Hell in a Cell, you do not want to miss any of the action. Now, everybody, I gotta remind you, there's not much time left. There's only one place you can watch Hell in a Cell tonight. That's on the WWE Network. So right this second, go to WWENetwork.com and sign up, because Hell in a Cell is free for new subscribers, but also Crown Jewel, happening later this month on Halloween, is free for new subscribers. But Coach, Hell in a Cell, let's talk about it, baby.
Yeah, everybody's got their opinions on why Becky Lynch offered this match to Sasha Banks. The bottom line is, it's going to happen. And Sasha Banks has been there before. Becky Lynch has not. And the Raw Women's Championship will be on the line tonight. And again, in less than 10 minutes, they will be walking down that aisle.
And also tonight, it is the big dog Roman Reigns teaming up with Daniel Bryan. They are ready to face Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Reigns and Bryan, they're on the same page, and that does not bode well for their very destructive opponents.
Earlier tonight here on the kickoff show, Charlotte Flair said she doesn't want to talk or even think about what happened at Clash of the Champions. But the bottom line is this: Bayley pulled a Charlotte Flair at Clash of the Champions. And tonight, these two will go one-on-one. Charlotte hopes it's the start of a 10th title run for the Queen.
And tonight, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defending their women's tag team championships against a very formidable team. Tonight is the Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa and Nikki.
And how about this? Seth Rollins has had a year any superstar would dream about, but it has been far from easy. Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, Braun Strowman at Clash of the Champions, and tonight, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, who we have no idea what he's capable of in a normal day. But this isn't a normal day. This is a Hell in a Cell match, and they go one-on-one inside that structure here live tonight.
Seth Rollins burned it down.
Seth Rollins retains the Universal Championship here tonight at Clash of...
Oh, hey, Fireflies! It's my future best friend, Seth Rollins!
Having fun together, joking and playing games, talking with our friends.
Seth, I need to try and warn you before it's too late. Do not get inside Hell in a Cell with the Fiend, dude. It won't end well.
Instead of telling Seth what you think is gonna happen at Hell in a Cell, how about we show him? Seth, I would turn away right now if I were you. This could get ugly. Oh! We have all hurt for so long. But now, it's your turn. See you in hell!
I've got to step inside Hell in a Cell. I've got to defend my Universal title against the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. The living embodiment of a nightmare. Look, I don't need to tell you guys what that Hell in a Cell structure is capable of, but facing off inside Hell in a Cell with Bray Wyatt, that is an entirely different story. So, what do? I do what I always do when my back is against the wall. I survive and I prevail. It doesn't matter what kind of mind games the Fiend Bray Wyatt wants to come at me with, I'm going to survive.
Friends forgive, but he never forgets.
Seth Rollins, he's champion. He always says he's going to survive, he's going to prevail. But how do you prepare for something as twisted as the Fiend Bray Wyatt?
You just said it right there. There is no prep. I don't think you can go and, find somebody to spar with, in a situation like this. But I've been listening to all the people talking about this match, and they go, who booked this match? Why would they put a match together like this? Bray Wyatt, man, a championship. Let me tell you something. It's not about Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, needing a championship. It's about wanting the championship. It's about wanting to dominate the whole thing. And I think that's what Bray Wyatt is all about. Since day one, when Bray Wyatt first jumped on the scene, he picked the top dog to go out there and fool around with. And it's no different right now. Bray Wyatt is still making you think, and more importantly, making you think, he's making you feel a certain way. And when a man can do that right there, he's very, very dangerous.
Booker, you know it as well as anybody. It is very difficult to get a championship match at any time of your career. But when you get it, the playing field is incredibly important. The playing field for the Fiend Bray Wyatt is this Hell in a Cell. And if I'm the Fiend Bray Wyatt right now, I couldn't be happier with the fact that this is where I get to play tonight, because this to me gives him the advantage.
Well, violence and destruction are what the Fiend is all about, and that's what you get inside Hell in a Cell. I mean, you were talking about the motivations of the Fiend and how do you prepare for the Fiend. He couldn't be more opposite than Seth Rollins. Since Seth Rollins became the Universal Champion, he's a politician. He wants to be the representative of the company. He wants to be the poster boy. He wants to be doing the media interviews, and he wants to be on the posters announcing to the world that we're coming to Fox. The Fiend is different. The Fiend is like the adage from Batman. He's one of these men that just wants to watch the world burn. And Seth Rollins is the perfect victim.
I'm going to steal that.
Well, I'm the last professional broadcaster. Seth Rollins is the perfect person for the Fiend to burn down.
You could use that on WWE Backstage next week on FS1.
I will use that next week. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Credit to the last professional broadcaster.
Yes.
All right, so let's put a bow on this as far as, I know you say there's no preparation, but these two have to walk down that aisle. They have to walk in the Hell in a Cell, and the door is going to shut behind them. Unlike a steel cage, you can't climb up and over the top. There's nowhere to run.
Let me tell you
There's
something.
nowhere to hide.
Let me tell you, Seth Rollins, he's a real man. Not a man, he's a real man. You know what I mean? Because he steps up each and every time. He's going to come out. Seth Rollins is going to leave everything in the middle of that ring. You say, how do you game plan? I don't think Seth Rollins need a game plan as far as his skill set goes. Seth Rollins is going to go out there and try to manage this match as it comes. You know what I mean? Whatever I have to do to win, I think it's going to come down to that.
But from a mental standpoint is where he might have the most trouble. Not a physical standpoint, but a mental one.
Even a physical standpoint. What about the fact that every time Seth Rollins and The Fiend have met physically, and they have been in each other's presence, The Fiend gets the better of him every single time. Seth Rollins is on his back and terrified, and The Fiend is standing over
we got a time limit tonight. That's the difference. We got a time limit. We got a referee in the middle of the ring. That's going to be the difference tonight.
It makes me a little uncomfortable just to think about. I am a little bit uncomfortable with this.
Quickly, our other Hell in a Cell match, 15 seconds on what you think, Becky and Sasha.
I'm going with Becky.
Okay.
It's going to be Sasha's night.
Well, Sasha has gotten exactly what she wants.
Yeah.
And that is Becky Lynch, a championship match inside Hell in a Cell.
Champion's advantage. Champion's advantage.
Sasha's advantage. Hell in a Cell, she's been in the match before.
Hey, well, guys, there's only one place you can find out the answer to that question. That's on the WWE Network. So we want everyone to go subscribe to the network because it is going to be a hell of a show tonight.
And there it is. Hell in a Cell is like no other match in the WWE. You walk in one way, but you walk out a changed person. It takes guts. It takes a willingness to go to a place where your opponent is not willing to go. The countdown is over. Becky Lynch, the man, the champion, Sasha Banks. Kickoff inside that Hell in a Cell next. Enjoy.